啊，有小过个呢，那有个小车，那边有2个小车啊。哇！哎耶！很远的，今天看见。
我昨天我夜没睡，没着，妈天，车子躺到门口了，你们看，该歪死哦，就把它弹完。
It all began with what seemed like a harmless rain, but by morning, water had reached the rooftops, streets vanished, children floated in plastic basins, the elderly were carried on shoulders, the Yangtze roared, the Yellow River overflowed, and China sank into a double nightmare, where no one could tell river from city anymore. Unprecedented. Both the Yangtze and the Yellow River broke warning levels at the same time. Torrential rains mixed with emergency dam discharges triggered landslides, flash floods, and widespread urban drowning. A dual-basin crisis, something China hasn't seen in decades. In cities like Yichang, Hubei, and Zhejiang, Jiangxi, the Yangtze rose for 3 days straight. By dawn, it had climbed 1.7 meters above the danger line. Rain slammed down like a hammer. Dams burst open. Midstream reservoirs kicked into emergency mode. You could hear the thunder of water crashing against levees like war drums. In towns across the region, people woke up in the dark, with water already at their feet. No time to pack, no time to think. In Wuhan, the drainage system collapsed. A section of the 3rd ring road drowned under 5 feet of floodwater. Cars sank beneath overpasses, stacked like crushed tin cans, a massive vehicle graveyard. Subway Line 3 shut down. Tens of thousands waded through brown, debris-choked waters. One man shouted, "This is the worst storm I've ever lived through," then disappeared into the flood. Up north, it got worse. Zhengzhou, Luoyang, entire counties drowned within hours. In Zhengzhou County, a levee burst wide open. More than 400 acres of farmland vanished in minutes. The water came faster than we could wake up, one villager said, clinging to the rooftop. Dozens of families were stranded above the floodline, waving at helicopters that hadn't come yet. Drone footage revealed entire villages submerged, brown rooftops barely visible in the mud. The earth didn't flood, it transformed into a lake of despair. Then came the beast, the Three Gorges Dam. With upstream flow surging past 70,000 cubic meters per second, dam operators were left with no choice. Fifth day of continuous emergency discharge. The Yangtze thundered downstream like a raging monster. Wuhan, Guangxi, Zhengzhou were told to brace. The water turned blood red, thick, angry, and fast. Over on the Yellow River, the Shaolangdi and Sanminsha dams also opened their floodgates. No public alerts were given. Villages were jolted awake by sirens, or worse, by water already crashing through windows. In places like Yichang and Luoyang, over 200,000 people were ordered to evacuate before sunrise. There were no calm lines, just chaos. Families running through the dark, dragging bags, pulling children through waist-deep torrents.
这con kia chả ta sẽ sao lo, sẽ mắt nó màu nè, sẽ màu đâu kết à, sẽ màu đâu kết kỹ nó màu cao, mày lệnh trong gọn đấy.
现在你看到的不是大海哦，这像海汪汪的一片。这里从那里到这里。我最怕的就是水了。
Lanzhou was swallowed. Nanbing, her road, disappeared under the flood. Buses floated aimlessly. Lampposts collapsed at the roots. Old men were carried on shoulders. Infants floated across in plastic basins. Images like these belonged to a century ago, but now they were live-streamed, real, raw, right now. The South didn't fare better. Nanchang, Anqing, Yuanyang, city after city issued full flood alerts. Electricity down, water cut off. First floors vanished beneath the current. Families scrambled to the second floor, then rooftops. In the black of night, flashlight beams flickered like SOS signals. Some waved towels, some cried. They were all waiting for help, that never came.
没信号都没信号啊！ 啊，我们有5个，我们那有个小车，那边有2个小车啊！不要往这边走了，往那边走，这边就裂开了，快开，快点！
River and Dual-basin River in the county continued to rise rapidly.
Downstream in Dongying and Hebei, officials raised the flood warning to the highest level. Rain kept falling, dams kept releasing. Urban drainage systems tore apart like wet paper. Local firefighters were deployed almost 200 times in just 20 hours. They pumped water, pulled residents from basements, delivered supplies. Their boots sloshed non-stop, their eyes red, their voices gone from shouting over flood sirens. One firefighter collapsed on the ground. His team didn't stop. Another picked up the hose. These rivers once gave life. Now they bring fear. The floods aren't just about water. They're about broken warning systems, fragile cities, a climate that's turning more violent faster than we can adapt. And this might only be the beginning. Because the rains haven't stopped, the dams are under pressure, and the heart of China's economy, the Yangtze Delta, is sinking inch by inch. What if the next flood hits and no one's ready?
家厕所飘走了，我真牛逼，小巷子里飘出来的。